No turbo questions, I promise. However, I do want to talk about the small community that is hockey. I mean, it's kind of appropriate that on the 25th anniversary of the Carolina Hurricanes, we have an Eastern Conference Finals that features the Stalls, your old coach, your old teammates. I mean, hockey is kind of like that, right?
Well, it's certainly come a long ways. It's not been a short time, but I guess it depends how you want to look at it.
We're old, man. It's
It's
You look the same.
no, I don't look or feel the same, but I don't really know how to respond to that. You know, I mean, it's there's good hockey everywhere now, and I go back, and if you really want to look at the origins of it, it's because Gretzky got traded to LA. You want to trace this all back, these teams would not be, I don't think, would be where they are if he hadn't taken hockey to another level in the U.S., and that's where it started.
You say how far it's come along. I mean, this is an old school, shows you how long we've been doing this, an old South-Least division matchup, but these two teams are completely different and everything else.
Well, and then you throw Tampa in that mix too, and so listen, in the NHL now, with the way the parity is and the way the leagues run, you can have success anywhere. And I will say, I mean, I don't even care where you play, other than maybe a couple of cities. If you're not successful, it's going to be hard we see it. We see it in some of Chicago's one of the best markets, and I remember when they weren't very good, they don't even show up.
Right.
So let's get it. We've done pretty well here considering. Even the 10-year run where we did nothing, there were still people coming out here and supporting us. So we got a great group here and great fan base.
One of your favorite quotes, unbeknownst to you, that Joe loves is that you're hired to get fired. You know how this is going to end. Totally. What does it say about Paul Maurice's staying power, this stop now with Florida, and he's coming to a different situation than what they had last year? They make the big move with Huberdeau. Add Stahl, maybe add some guys that he's familiar with, but he does seem to keep going.
Listen, he's been. I don't know the math, but on it, if he's the longest running coach, like he's been around for
a long time.
Who's been around longer? I don't know. And that says it all for me. And if you really want to get technical, he hasn't won. Right. So how many coaches are going to last and keep showing up when they haven't won a championship? I mean, that tells you that people know he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? So, but he's also had to do it in 4 or 5 different cities now. So that's just the nature of the business.
Was there anything from – I always associate you with Peter Laviolette and the process and the results. It's about the process, not the results. Was there anything that you took from Mo that you realize now, shit, that's what Mo does? Yeah.
Well – It's interesting because obviously I played under Mo for most of the time, but I actually coached for about a year. Half a year he brought me in, so I was in the coach's office watching him do it, and that's when I originally thought I'd never be a coach because I didn't realize how much went into it. As a player, I'm like, how hard is this? Just put the honestly, I'm like, open the door, get your best players out, give them a plan, and it's on them. Yeah. And then I went back there and I watched the process of it, and I was like, oh, this is way more than I thought. And that was because of the way he was doing it. And so maybe that I've taken that because that's the first kind of vision of coaching was, okay, this is way more into it, so you got to be dialed in if you want to do it. Because he certainly is.
So about that process, let's go back to the trade deadline. Joe and I have a conversation with Dundon ahead of the outdoor game, and we're just kind of giving him, make a move. I mean, you got $10 million in cap space, but you doubled down on that process. Now, again, you're halfway there. Is it because this group is more veteran that they've had a couple more cracks at it? What makes this year different in how they've responded?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles, honestly. It's getting in is just the hardest part, and then you got to have things line up. And I think the key moves were, honestly, on the defense side of things when we brought in Burnsy early and then even Ghost at the trade deadline. Those are sneaky. Well, the Burnsy one's not sneaky.
That was not sneaky.
But Ghost is a sneaky move that really upgraded our back end to where we got 6 guys now that, like I mentioned there, they can get stuck out there against the best players, and it's not gonna make you go, oh, no. And that's huge.
Actually, you just hit on something, and this is something that didn't really hit for me. I didn't get this clarity until my younger son started playing hockey. Hockey's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like the puck will bounce in a way that you're like, why did it do that? And then it changes everything.
Yes. Well, as we say, you can't defend chaos. So if you throw enough out there, then you know if you kind of don't have an idea, they don't either, right? Like, and then there's actually some more detail in that. But you're right, and bounces, and so you want to create as many of those as you can. Well, how do you do that? You got to play in the other team's zone. You have to do things that are going to up the ante on the stupid part of the game, because that gives you more chances to win. So if you want to call it stupid or whatever, but
voodoo. I mean,
there's
you can
a
do
lot
any number of things.
randomness to our sport, and so you want to figure out a way, which I think we do a pretty good job of upping your chances on the randomness, if that makes sense.
I know you were asked before the New Jersey series, like the one thing that's really made up for the loss of three of your top six forwards has been the scoring from your defense. Obviously, there's a lot of scoring in the second round from your defense. I don't know if you draw that up or if it's just the way that your team has the mentality that everyone has to chip in and really contribute, but it did seem like a marked difference from the first round.
Well, I think from the back end, they just two different teams we were playing. So the first series, Islanders are very more not giving chances up. Devils were more, they're trying to go. So if you can limit that, you're going to get your opportunities. And in theory, that's what should happen, and that's kind of what did happen. So is it that our back end do anything different? No. It's just the way our system's kind of structured. I think it led to them creating more opportunities off of what the other team was doing.
I like to say you can't run with Rod.
Can't run with me.
Cannot run with Rod. See,
Joe went basketball
You're a
here.
State fan, and I understand all those things, but with Roy Williams, it was, don't be stupid. Don't run with the heels. That's stupid.
Right.
I thought the Devils wanted to run with you. My guess is Florida wants to run with you, too.
Well, it's listen, you have to know what the other team, what they're trying to do. You have to have that idea, okay, this is how they want to do it, and make sure you don't run with them. So you make sure, listen, this is what they want to do, take away what they're trying to do, and then you go.
That's very Belichickian.
Well, no, that's
No, it is, though.
That's exactly what it is. If I can get more technical, New Jersey goes neutral zone, they go long to the blue line, they go up the middle. So we know what every time they get it, shut the middle down, and you're gonna take away, and now you're going the other way, and now you're just throwing more darts at the dartboard. So that was kind of one of the things.
Are you thinking like this watching House League play?
No.
Is that what's going through your brain?
House League play is just fun. I just love it. And I love the whole mentality of it, too. Everyone's just there to have fun.
Yeah.
And they're just enjoying it.
Yeah.
And the kids are having a blast.
Yeah.
Nobody cares who wins or loses.
I don't know about that. Look, I'm new to this. I am new to this, and I could tell you. Well, I went to it very zen because I'm just happy my kid's playing.
Yeah. He was good. He did a nice job out there. I saw him flying around. He's got the flow.
hair.
The flow. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. All right.
I did tell him, like, hey, you won a face off there. I wonder if Rod noticed. He's like, oh, did he? But yeah, he's having fun with it,
He was working hard. That's what you could appreciate that as a dad, right?
Absolutely.
You're out there working, and that's all good. So.
We appreciate the time, Rod.
Hey, of course, anytime.